My name is Albert and welcome to Unknown Facts. Our world, this magnificent, sprawling sphere of life and history, holds secrets within its very fabric. Some are buried deep beneath the earth, others are hidden in plain sight, etched into the landscape or penned in languages we no longer comprehend. These are not mere curiosities, they are echoes of ingenuity, whispers from civilizations that rose and fell long before our time. They challenge our understanding of the past, forcing us to question what we believe to be possible. Today, we embark on a journey, not across continents, but through time itself. We will explore 10 of the most perplexing mysteries left behind by our ancestors. These are artifacts and structures so advanced, so intricate that they continue to puzzle the brightest minds of our age. If you are as fascinated by these timeless riddles as I am, and wish to join us on future explorations into the mysteries of our world, do consider subscribing to the channel and liking this video. Your support allows us to continue this extraordinary quest for knowledge together. Our journey begins in the depths of the Aegean Sea, near a small Greek island called Antikythera. Here, in the year 1901, sponge divers stumbled upon a shipwreck from antiquity. Amongst the marble statues and pottery, they recovered a corroded lump of bronze, which at first appeared to be little more than a piece of rock. This unassuming artifact was, in fact, a machine of astonishing complexity, a device that would rewrite our understanding of ancient technology. This is the Antikythera mechanism. What emerged from the calcified remains was a system of interlocking bronze gears, at least 37 of them, all fitting together with the precision of a modern Swiss watch. It was an astronomical calculator, an analog computer of breathtaking sophistication. Inscriptions, barely legible on its surfaces, revealed its purpose: to predict the positions of the sun, moon, and planets, to track the 4-year cycle of the ancient Olympic Games, and even to forecast eclipses with remarkable accuracy. It was a complete cosmos in a box, crafted more than 2,000 years ago. The sheer existence of such a device is, honestly, profoundly baffling. Nothing else of this complexity is known to have existed for another 1,000 years. The clockwork of medieval cathedrals, once thought to be the pinnacle of early mechanical engineering, seems almost rudimentary by comparison. It is a ghost from a lost world of technological prowess, a singular artifact without a known predecessor or successor. We now travel south, to the arid plains of Giza in Egypt, a landscape dominated by monuments that have captivated humanity for millennia. The Great Pyramids. They are perhaps the most iconic structures on Earth, tombs for the pharaohs, stairways to the heavens. Yet for all their familiarity, their construction remains one of history's most profound engineering mysteries. The sheer scale is difficult to comprehend. The Great Pyramid of Khufu alone is composed of an estimated 2.3 million stone blocks, some weighing as much as 80 tons, the equivalent of a dozen elephants. These colossal blocks were quarried, transported, and lifted to heights of over 450 feet. How? Beyond the Herculean task of lifting the stones, there is the mystery of their precision. The pyramids are aligned to the cardinal points of the compass with an accuracy that is astonishing even by modern standards. The Great Pyramid's north-south axis is aligned to within a fraction of a single degree of true north. How did a Bronze Age civilization, without the aid of telescopes, compasses, or lasers, achieve such a feat? Furthermore, the craftsmanship of the stonework itself is mind-boggling. The casing stones that once covered the pyramids were cut and polished to a fine finish, and fitted together with joints so tight that a razor blade cannot be inserted between them. This level of precision, executed on such a massive scale with millions of blocks, suggests a mastery of stonemasonry that is difficult to explain. From the stone monuments of Egypt, we journey across the Atlantic to the arid coastal plains of southern Peru. Here, etched into the very surface of the desert, is a gallery of art so vast it can only be truly appreciated from the sky. These are the Nazca lines, a collection of hundreds of enormous geoglyphs, depicting animals, plants, and geometric shapes, spread across nearly 200 square miles of barren landscape. The figures are varied and spectacular. A spider, a hummingbird with a long, elegant beak, a monkey with a spiraling tail, a condor with a wingspan of over 400 feet. There are also immense straight lines, some stretching for miles, as well as trapezoids, spirals, and triangles. They were created by a simple yet effective method. The ancient Nazca people removed the reddish-brown, iron oxide-coated pebbles that covered the desert floor, revealing the lighter-colored earth beneath. The dry, windless climate has preserved them almost perfectly for over 2,000 years. The first and most obvious question is, why? Why create artworks on such a colossal scale that they cannot be fully seen from the ground? One of the most popular theories suggests they were created for the gods in the sky, gigantic offerings or ritual pathways for religious ceremonies. They may have formed a kind of celestial map, an astronomical calendar to track the solstices and other celestial events. So, our investigation now leads us to a museum in Iraq and to a small, unassuming artifact that really challenges our timeline of electrical discovery. It's known as the Baghdad Battery. Discovered in the 1930s near modern-day Baghdad, this object dates back to the Parthian period, which is around 2,000 years ago. It consists of a simple terracotta pot, about 5 inches tall. Inside the pot, there's a cylinder made of a rolled copper sheet, and suspended in the center of that, but not touching it, is an iron rod, held in place by an asphalt plug that seals the top. However, its construction bears a striking resemblance to a galvanic cell, which is the basic principle of a modern battery. If the pot were to be filled with an acidic liquid like vinegar or grape juice, something that acts as an electrolyte, a chemical reaction would occur between the copper and the iron, generating a small but steady electrical current. And, this isn't just a theory, it's a scientific fact. Replicas of the artifact have been built and tested, and they work. They produce electricity. This discovery is profoundly anachronistic. The invention of the battery is officially credited to Alessandro Volta in the year 1800, more than 1,800 years after this simple pot was created. If this artifact was indeed used as a source of electrical power, it would mean that ancient peoples had harnessed electricity long before it was officially discovered. We now travel to the heart of the Roman Empire to examine not a single object, but a material that was really the very foundation of its architectural legacy: Roman concrete, or opus caementicium. The Romans were master builders, and their structures, aqueducts, harbors, temples, and the Pantheon with its magnificent unreinforced dome, have survived for 2 millennia. Modern concrete, based on Portland cement, is a marvel of engineering in its own right. But it has a limited lifespan. It can degrade within decades, especially when exposed to harsh elements. Steel reinforcements rust and expand, cracking the concrete from within. Yet, Roman concrete structures have stood the test of time, and in some cases have actually grown stronger over the centuries. For a long time, the secret to its incredible durability was lost to history. The Roman engineer Vitruvius wrote about it, describing a mixture of volcanic ash, known as pozzolana, lime, and chunks of rock. For underwater structures like the piers of a harbor, this mixture was particularly effective. When seawater came into contact with this Roman concrete, a remarkable chemical reaction would begin. Recent scientific analysis has uncovered even more secrets within the material. Researchers have discovered small white chunks within the concrete, which were previously thought to be evidence of poor mixing. These are now understood to be lime clasts, and they appear to be a key ingredient in the concrete's self-healing ability. When tiny cracks form, water reacts with the lime clasts, creating a solution that recrystallizes, filling the crack and effectively healing the structure. Our journey now takes us to the Dique Delta of southern Costa Rica, to a mystery that is as simple in its form as it is profound in its implications. Scattered across the jungle floor and on islands are over 300 stone spheres. Locally known as Las Bolas, these petrospheres are remarkable for their perfection. Many are almost perfectly round monolithic sculptures hewn from a hard, igneous rock called granodiorite. They range in size from a few centimeters to over 2 meters in diameter, with the largest weighing an estimated 16 tons. They were first brought to widespread attention in the 1940s during agricultural clearing by the United Fruit Company. The craftsmanship required to create these spheres is extraordinary. Granodiorite is a hard, tough rock. To shape it into a near-perfect sphere using only the tools available between 600 and 1500 AD, primarily other stones, would have been a painstaking and highly skilled process. The precision achieved suggests a deep understanding of geometry and a tradition of stonework passed down through generations. Their purpose is a complete enigma. Some were found in lines or geometric arrangements, often leading to the entrance of the houses of chieftains. This suggests they may have been status symbols, markers of power and prestige. Their astronomical perfection has led some to theorize they were part of an astronomical alignment, a terrestrial model of the heavens used to track celestial bodies. We now turn from monuments of stone to a mystery of paper and ink, an enigma that has confounded the world's greatest cryptographers and linguists for over a century. This is the Voynich manuscript. It's a small, unassuming book, about 240 pages long, filled with elegant, flowing script and strange, compelling illustrations. The text is written in an unknown alphabet, a unique script that appears nowhere else on Earth. It's not just random symbols, though. Statistical analysis shows it follows the patterns of a genuine language. It has word frequencies and structures consistent with natural languages. And yet, despite brilliant codebreakers from World War I and II, and modern computer analysis, not a single word has ever been deciphered. The illustrations are just as baffling. There's a botanical section filled with drawings of unidentifiable plants. They seem to be composite creations with roots of one plant, leaves of another, and flowers of a third. Then there's an astronomical section with diagrams of suns, moons, and stars in complex celestial patterns. A biological section shows small, naked figures, bathing in interconnected tubs filled with strange liquid, all linked by pipes. This section is the most bizarre and has no parallel in any other manuscript. The Voynich manuscript is a tantalizing paradox. It looks like a book full of knowledge, yet it communicates nothing. It's a locked room mystery in book form, its elegant script mocking our attempts to understand it. Our quest now takes us back to Egypt, not to the Grand Pyramids, but to a much smaller yet equally perplexing artifact. In 1898, during the excavation of a tomb in Saqqara, a small wooden object was discovered. It was catalogued and stored away in the Egyptian Museum in Cairo, labeled simply as a wooden bird object. There it remained, largely unnoticed, for decades. It was only in 1969 that Dr. Khalil Messiah, an Egyptologist and physician, rediscovered it and proposed a startling theory. This was not a bird, it was a model of an aircraft. The object, now known as the Saqqara bird, is carved from a light piece of sycamore wood. It has a wingspan of about 7 inches and a fuselage-like body. At first glance it does resemble a bird, maybe a falcon, which is a common motif in Egyptian art representing the god Horus. But on closer inspection, it has several features that are distinctly unbird-like and curiously aerodynamic. The wings, for instance, are shaped like a modern airfoil, thicker at the front and tapering towards the back, a design that generates lift. Furthermore, the wings exhibit a distinct dihedral angle, meaning they are angled slightly upwards from the body. This is a key feature in modern aircraft design that provides stability during flight. The tail is also peculiar. Unlike the fan-shaped tail of a real bird, the Saqqara bird has a vertical tail fin, much like the rudder on a modern plane. If true, this would mean that the Egyptians had an understanding of the principles of flight thousands of years before the Wright brothers took to the skies at Kitty Hawk. We now travel to China, to a village in Zhejiang province, where in 1992, a local villager made a discovery of staggering proportions. Curious about a series of deep rectangular ponds in his village, said to be bottomless, he decided to pump one dry. As the water level dropped, it revealed not the bottom of a pond, but the entrance to a vast, subterranean, man-made cavern. This was the first of the Long Yu Caves, a massive underground complex that had been hidden for centuries, its existence completely unknown and unrecorded in any historical text. Further investigation revealed a network of at least 24, and possibly more, enormous caverns, all carved by hand from solid siltstone. The scale of this undertaking is almost beyond belief. The caves have an average floor area of over 1,000 square meters and reach heights of up to 30 meters. It is estimated that nearly 1 million cubic meters of rock were excavated to create this complex. The walls and ceilings are not rough-hewn, but are covered in a uniform pattern of parallel chisel marks, set at a precise angle of about 60 degrees. The mystery of the Long Yu Caves is threefold. Who built them? How did they build them? And why? There is absolutely no historical record of their construction. For a project of this magnitude, which would have required thousands of people working for many years to leave no trace in any local gazetteer, historical document, or folklore, is deeply perplexing. It is as if an entire chapter of history has been erased. For our final mystery, we return to the heights of the Andes in Peru, to a site that predates the famous Machu Picchu. Just outside the ancient Inca capital of Cusco lies Sacsayhuaman, a fortified complex whose name in Quechua means satisfied falcon. The site is famous for its three-tiered, zigzagging defensive walls constructed from some of the largest stones ever used in an ancient building. These are not simple bricks. They are colossal boulders of limestone and andesite, some weighing well over 100 tons. The largest is estimated to weigh close to 200 tons, the height of a 3-story building. These gigantic stones were quarried from miles away, transported over mountainous terrain, and then lifted into place. But it is not just the size of the stones that astounds, it is the way they are fitted together. The walls are a masterpiece of irregular polygonal masonry. Each stone is unique, cut into a complex shape with multiple angles and sides, designed to lock perfectly into its neighbors. They fit together with such precision that not even a single sheet of paper can be inserted between them. There is no mortar of any kind holding them together. They rely purely on their weight and the perfection of their fit. How did the Inca stonemasons carve these hard rocks into such complex, interlocking shapes with such flawless accuracy? Sacsayhuaman stands as a testament to an imperial power at its zenith, a demonstration of engineering prowess designed to awe and intimidate. It is a puzzle of stone and gravity, a structure that seems to defy the technological limitations of its time. We have journeyed through time and across the globe, from the depths of the Aegean Sea to the peaks of the Andes. We have peered into a book that cannot be read and stood in awe before walls built by giants. Each of these 10 mysteries serves as a powerful reminder that the story of our past is far from complete. They are not just curiosities, they are profound intellectual challenges. They are the gaps in our knowledge, the missing pages in our history books that beckon us to look deeper, to question our assumptions, and to embrace the humbling reality that we do not have all the answers. These enduring enigmas connect us to the anonymous geniuses of the past, the astronomers, engineers, scribes, and artisans who conceived and created these wonders. Their motivations may be lost to time, their methods a source of endless debate, but their ingenuity is undeniable. It is etched into the desert floor, encoded in bronze gears and locked into impossibly perfect stonework. The quest to solve these mysteries continues. With each new discovery, each new application of technology, we peel back another layer, perhaps coming one step closer to understanding. But maybe, just maybe, their true value lies not in being solved, but in their ability to perpetually inspire our curiosity. They fuel our imagination and drive us to explore the limits of what we think is possible. For it is in the act of questioning, of wondering, that we truly connect with the great unfolding story of humanity. Thank you for joining me on this exploration of the unknown.